Like we just did the previous video. You're gonna see here was the VeVe with the low cost entry point. Now we are going to move into undervalued collectibles for mid-tier collectors, which we consider ourselves mid-tier collectors. These drops are going to be, under around 3K, I'd say, around that area, under 2.5, 3K, or anything that we've seen that's just super, super undervalued.
Right.
Yeah. So someone that's been in the app for a little bit, but wants to make some moves.
Right.
Can I kick us off?
Yeah. No, this is, I know we're big on the superhero trend, but I'm big into the golden moments myself. Iron Man sitting at 2.5K, which I know that seems like a lot, but we've seen him well above. I think we've seen him just below 4. So I think we saw him at like 3.7, 3.8 during that kind of VeVe rush. I mean, what more do I have to say about Iron Man? It's Iron Man, Tony Stark, RDJ, like
you
biggest
could say
MC
that he's solid
hero.
gold.
Say it again.
You could say that he's solid gold.
You could say that, absolutely. So I think he's a decent buy. Obviously, a month ago he was sitting at 600, but I still think at 2.5K for a golden moment, no less. I think that's a pretty good buy. So that's one of mine that I really thought about right off the bat.
Yeah, kind of. I can run off that. I'm going to talk about one collectible that's in Cam's pocket. Here is a Homer and Bart statue, golden moment. I believe right now it's sitting at about 1.9K. So we are sub 2,000 on the first ever Disney golden moment released. The first ever technically Disney collectible ever released.
That's subject. I know that's subject to who you ask, but I believe it will be The Simpsons that is deemed the first. I think when they sort all that out.
And it is the first ever Simpsons collectible ever released, the longest running TV show in the history of television.
Pretty much, yeah.
So, enough said.
I agree 100%. I think The Simpsons, and then I have the counterpart to that set written down on my list as well. The skateboard, the rare. So the common is actually more expensive than the rare in that set. The rare is at 1,700. So I think that's a pretty good buy as well. I got it for 1,400. So I mean that's kind of hovering. It's up, but and then I'll just wrap up the golden moments really quick, just because we kind of started with those. Wally is under 1,500. So I think he's a pretty good buy because he was sitting over 2K at one point. And then also, I know she's a little bit expensive, but I think she's going to really go up. Is Elsa? Elsa is sitting at 3.5, which I think is pretty good buy as well. She was in the 5s at one point, I believe, during the VeVe rush. And I mean, Frozen is probably the biggest in recent years animated movie, I would imagine. Frozen 2. I don't know if there's a third one coming or not, but that would only boost it if there was. But yeah, so that is Elsa is probably another golden moment that I see getting towards the top there. And what's actually really fun, I didn't even mention this to you about my Simpsons. So there are 12,333 commons. I have mint number 12,328. I have a bottom 5 mint. I thought that was really funny.
We get points for that.
I don't know if it works for the bottom 5. But all right, so I kind of just rambled on about golden moments, but anything else you had your eye on?
Yeah, I was actually going to go talk about your golden moments quick. I mean, looking at the golden moments, if you go into the store and actually look at them, right, you see that they're broken up into categories, one being a Marvel, one being a Pixar, Star Wars, Simpsons, Walt Disney, Mickey Mouse, Walt Disney Animation Studios. So basically what it looks like is they're gearing up to have these golden moments be the top 2-tier collectibles of whatever they drop underneath it. So you see the Marvels, right? So anything that's else is Disney, Marvel, the Avengers A and Iron Man are going to be at the top no matter what. So these collectibles are going to be there forever and in everyone's faces forever.
Yeah. And
that's one of the main reasons why Cam has 50+% of his vault sitting in gold moments right now.
I got 4 golden moments. I want to make a move for a 5th at one point. At some point, I have the Avengers A on my watch list and Elsa. I'd really have to sell off some stuff to get Elsa, but I'm thinking about it. But it's kind of just in the back of my mind, really sitting. Any golden moments you have your eyes on, or no?
I mean, I'm relaxed right now. I'm not really looking to liquidate anything in my
portfolio. But just in the back of your mind, like if you were to kind of look at one.
I mean, at this point, the only one I really am looking at is R2D2, but it's just so far out of reach.
He's at 8K.
I would love to have my droid combo because I am a C3PO owner. Got him off the drop, so I was very fortunate of that.
Right.
Right now he's sitting around 5K. So
the golden moments have been kind of immune to this market drop off, though. I will say,
because people are selling off and buying gold moments.
Right. So,
but I would say for a lower tier gold moment for me, not necessarily a lower tier, shouldn't be a low tier, but it is definitely Iron Man sitting at 2.5. Yeah. I mean, that would be something really cool to just have my collection being such a Marvel fan that I am.
Right. I agree 100%. I think Iron Man's the best buy. I don't even know what the A is at. I imagine the Avengers A is probably cheaper. The Avengers A at 2.1, but I just think Iron Man's cooler to have.
Oh yeah, it's Iron Man.
Yeah. So, and that's funny because that's another variation of the Disney Golden Moments where the common is more expensive than the rare.
Yeah.
So
with lower editions, which is crazy.
Right. Yeah. Obviously. Right. Common rare. Partners is sitting at 42, which I think he was at 84 at one point, if I'm correct.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'm wrong, though. Maybe I'm thinking Secret Rare Spider-Man. I'm not exactly sure. That's a good question. I know Secret Rare Spider-Man definitely was at 84 because it got to 100. Secret Rare Spider-Man is also sitting at 64K. So he's down 40%. So that's probably not a worse buy either, but 65K, that's a big ask. That's not a mid-tier. That's not a mid-tier collectible at that point. But
so while we're staying on the superheroes, I can mention one here that we actually mentioned in the lower tier top investments for a new user. I think that Wonder Woman's a great investment, still under 2.5K gems here. It's Wonder Woman. Yeah. She's sitting at 900, under 1,000. But yeah, I really, she's well worth. If she was sitting at 1.5K, if she was sitting at 2K, I'd still recommend a purchase on Wonder Woman just because we're going to see, we have the big three of the DCU, as they say, the DC Comics universe. You've got Superman, you got Batman, and you got Wonder Woman. Right. And right now, Batman and Superman are way head and heels further up in market cap right now than Wonder Woman. Actually, I don't know about market cap, but for price per collectible, definitely way up.
Yeah.
So Wonder Woman is a very popular character among both males and females. So
yeah, absolutely.
Great collectible.
No doubt about that.
That definitely goes for the FA Wonder Woman that I'm in particular talking about. But as we have talked about before, the lifelike collectible is pretty cool looking too.
Yeah, definitely. That's one of their best sets, I think, on the app.
Definitely. They looks just real.
Yeah, they do. Absolutely. Can't go wrong with that one. Anything else? I got kind of two more. One of them is way more expensive than a mid-tier collectible, but I still think it's a decent deal. And I got one more kind of mid collectible I think is a decent buy.
I can I'll stick. I got my last one here. It's sticking on the DC wave. I do have FA of the Jim Lee the Joker. That is one that's been on my wish list, my want list for probably ever since I opened the app. Just
how much is he?
He's right now sitting at under 1,200 gems.
Oh wow!
So he came down quite a bit. He was, I believe, his top end was around 1.7. So coming in about 60% of his total of his highest value right now. It's first appearance of the Joker, one of the most iconic villains
ever in any universe, right? Yeah, not even just DC.
Like in comparison, I would say he kind of gives me the Green Goblin vibes, but Joker, I believe, is definitely, I think, more popular.
Heath Ledger got the Oscar, of course.
Right. Yeah, in light of recent times now, definitely the Joker. And that's right now 7,500 editions, sitting under $1,200. First appearance, Joker, black and white, looks absolutely awesome. Definitely a good grab.
Not bad at all. No, my final kind of cool to buy, I think, common Spider-Man this is kind of back in our previous category. He's at like 840, 850. We saw that get high as 1.5K, and then rare Spider-Man is at 1.4K, so that's more into this kind of category, but we saw that well above 2K. So I think those are two decent buys. And then this is my kind of not exactly mid-tier collectible anymore, but I still think is not the worst buy. Todd is sitting at 11K, which I know that seems like a lot, but I mean, I feel like that's a 50K collectible. End of the day.
No, it is easily.
Yeah, so obviously 11K is definitely up there, but I mean, it's Todd. That's first appearance of Batman in the blockchain. So
and
that's one of the grabs.
VeVe collectible.
And first ever VeVe collectible, right? I keep forgetting that. So yeah, that one's kind of out there, but so let's sum up kind of, unless you got anything else. You got anything else in this category? Or is that all you got?
Did you want to check comics?
Yeah, I mean, I had a few comics. I mean, I think we all know. I'm sure we've said this on here. Is that
Big three.
Fantastic Four 1, Amazing Spider-Man 1, and Marvel 1, the big three. If I remember correctly, ASM 1 was just about catching 200. I think I saw him at 195. Fantastic Four 1. I know Aram got him the other day for 140. He might be in the 150s, 160s. And then Marvel 1 was below 400, but I think that settled back up to like 420. And those are all good buys. But those are good buys really at any time, realistically. Like that's kind of not really a bad time to buy those, as long as you're gonna hold for a while.
Mm-hmm.
But comics, aside from those, so aside from the big three that I kind of noticed, and this is just we're common for the most part, common comic buyers. I know you kind of dabbled with the ultra rares or whatever, but for the most part, when we buy comics, we're looking at the commons, right? So, and also Fantastic Four 5 is probably number 4 if there's a big three. Fantastic Four 5 is probably
Doctor Doom.
Right. So I'd say that's number 4. So aside from those 4 comics that are maybe a little bit more under the radar, I think Daredevil 1 common is at 105, and he's coming into the MCU full steam, like making multiple cameos, and will probably get his own movie/show again. So I'd say Daredevil 1 at 105 is a decent buy.
Speaking of Daredevil, did you see Charlie Cox trending on Twitter?
What's that for?
Charlie Cox is the Daredevil actor.
Yeah, I know that. What's he trending for?
So he's trending, but he did an interview. Someone did an interview. He's like, "Oh yeah, I'd love to come on as Daredevil and do a lot more things in the MCU. I don't know what they have in store, but I really hope that they let me do the most possible, even though he knows very well what's in store."
Yeah, exactly.
And they released a Tom Holland video of him talking about working with Charlie Cox in the future. So
yeah, I'm sure
that's going to be
Holland get what he wants.
One of my most anticipated movies. That's going to be, and you're yet to watch a Daredevil series, so.
Yeah, that's on the list. We'll get there. How I'm on season 9, episode 14 of How I Met Your Mother. Sorry to digress, but hey, we got 10 episodes left. We're grinding. But so back on the comics, though, I think also a decent buy is Ultimate Fallout 4, which is first appearance of Miles Morales at 124 right now. I think that's an easy $200 comic as well. So I think, obviously, he's got Across the Spider-Verse coming out. I think that's end of this year.
I believe so. Or beginning of 2023, maybe, if it gets pushed.
No, I think it's 2022, but who knows? So I think that's a good buy. And then you have to talk to me about whether this is the first appearance of anybody or not. I'm going to guess it's not. But Journey into Mystery.
First appearance of Loki.
That's first appearance of Loki. Okay, that's sitting at 62.
First appearance of Loki, the God of Mischief. And that is if I'm not mistaken, it is the first comic that Stan Lee wrote solely. The first time his name was published as the author.
Okay,
and not
so
an the comic.
Then a pretty good buy. So $62 for the common. I think that's a pretty great buy. Loki is probably going to go down. I mean, I imagine, unless Paul Bettany gives a run for his money as the longest lasting character in the MCU. Paul Bettany's still going as Vision, but Loki's been since Thor 1, and he's getting at least another season. Is he in Multiverse of Madness?
Who knows?
Don't know. Okay, so that's not confirmed. So Loki's a pretty big character, though, and has been in the MCU, and I imagine that's not going to change anytime soon. And then lastly, not a huge comic to add, but I still think a good one. Amazing Spider-Man 3 is first appearance of Doc Ock. That's going for 67. I mean, Doc Ock, Alfred Molina is one of the most iconic movie villains ever. Not necessarily comic book villain, but movie villain. I mean, Spider-Man 2 is a great movie, obviously one of the best superhero movies ever. So I think at under $70, you can get Journey into Mystery and ASM 3 or so one of those two are both of them under 70. I think decent buys. But Daredevil 1, especially at 105, I think is really good. So I think he's going to be a huge character in the future. That's probably my favorite of those sleeper comics.
I agree. I mean, coming in, say you got a budget sitting around 250, right? You come into the app, pick up Daredevil 1, Journey into Mystery, and Miles Morales, any kind of combo of those comics.
Right.
Even jump over, maybe grab I don't know, this is just a good start into the app, to have a couple of those important first comics. So everyone that's going to come in is going to look for those. And, if you're a mid-tier, you're going to have some more money, maybe even pick up a couple of those and be able to flip some off to some newbies, because everyone's going to want the first piece of the first of this, the first that. So
right.
If you can grab, the first appearance of Miles Morales, and, new kids are going to come in, they're like, hey, I want that Miles Morales comic. So
right.
Just a good collecting chip.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, as you said, first appearance, anything is going to go pretty well. And obviously all the comics and all the collectibles really are on sale for the most part. So, but definitely the ones that we listed we see going up the most value in the longest short term to long term future. You know what I mean? Not like super long term, but not short term either. So in that happy medium middle per se.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think that was pretty cool kind of breakdown. So you want to just sum up kind of what we did with the mid-tier collectibles?
Yeah, so you have to help me a little bit here. We rambled a little bit, but
yeah, that's all right.
Mid tiers, we talked about the Joker. We talked about Wonder Woman to stay on the DC side. We had also mentioned Todd, which is obviously big collectible, very sought after. And we talked big about the Disney Gold Moments, how there are plenty of those that are undervalued. Cam and I definitely believe that those are easy 10K collectibles in the future, at least 5K collectibles in the future.
Mm-hmm. Definitely 5K.
It's
definitely
the first Disney collection of NFTs. Just the first. I don't know how many times I can say the first, but
literally, but it means something. That's significant. Absolutely.
Yeah. Anything else I missed here?
No, I just think the Golden Moments specifically, just to talk about the ones we talked about, we said Iron Man, 2.5K, Elsa, 3.5K, and then the skateboard and the Simpsons, that kind of set looked pretty good. And then Wally was the cheapest one, under 1.5K. So those are kind of the Golden Moments. They're kind of all the cheapest Golden Moments that we listed. I think we skipped out on the Avengers A, but any of them realistically are not a bad buy.
And I do believe that the Bart skateboard has Matt Groening's signature on it.
Both Simpsons underneath.
Really?
If you flip to the bottom. Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool. That's very cool.
Yeah. So I have big faith in the Simpsons.
Never really watched big time, but
I never really watched either. But when I saw the speculation on Twitter that the Simpsons might be listed as the first Disney NFT, and I was like, yeah, you know what? Maybe I kind of clear. I went to work selling stuff. I got rid of my Mighties. I cleaned shop, but I like what I did so far. At least, who knows? But we got faith. I have huge faith in the Golden Moments. Obviously, I'm kind of I went Randy Chavez, all eggs in one basket for the most part, which I wouldn't necessarily advise, but I'm having fun doing it, and it makes me hold more. So I've never thought once of selling any of the Golden Moments I have, and I probably never will. So
that brings me here into just want to chat final 2 points here. It's like, buy what you love, right? Buy what you enjoy.
Absolutely.
Cam's talking, he loves the Disney Gold Moments, loves Spider-Man. We love Spidey. Don't ever sell what, Cam?
Don't sell Spider-Man content. That's the rule in my it's in my VeVe bio and my profile.
Buying what you like, buying what you think is cool, definitely helps you hold on to it and not be emotional in the marketplace, which kind of brings me into, when to buy and when to sell. Obviously, you buy when it's low now and you sell when it's high. But
you say that, and that's tough for some people like us who don't want to continuously put money into the app, because the way we've kind of gone about buying is we sell stuff off and then we buy. We kind of almost trade, I would say, because we kind of buy when the market's high because we're also selling. We kind of sell and buy simultaneously. So we more or less trade at this point. But for those who are able to just put in cash continuously, definitely would wait it out to buy when the market cools off like it is right now. So, and
at points like this, you have a few gems in your back pocket, right? You're going to pick up multiples of some certain collectibles.
You say multiples. That's David. So David, you did say, not to cut you off there really quick. He said if you really want to get into it, buy 3 of something. Obviously, it's tough to say buy 3 Iron Mans for $2.5K, but maybe some of the smaller stuff, it's like you buy one, you hodl it. You got one where you could like sell it right away, and like you have another one you can kind of like trade off, like if you need to, for another cool one. But you have one you can flip, one that you can hold on to forever, and then one you can kind of look to make a swap with. So we said. So I think you really only need 2, but maybe it's just you sell that third one, you still got 2 left. You just kind of have a degree of comfort, I guess. So
right, and you could even use those as like a a trading chip between friends and whatnot. Right. And I'm specifically coming to my head, brings me to all the mighties. I think the mighties, like whenever I look at a mighty, it kind of resembles a like one of those the pop.
Yeah, the pop figurines.
The pop figurines. And that's really what gets me. We know how well Mr. Fed.
Look at that one.
Look at his hat too. He's got the hat on.
He got the headband.
And look how great those have done. I mean, we have those pop figurines. There's tons of those.
Spider-Man.
Love it.
Not bad. That is very mighty-ish. This is Far From Home. Waiting on this IP from VeVe. This is Tyrion Lannister. We need a Game of Thrones IP. Wait till we get those. Let me get a Drogon NFT.
Oh yeah.
A Night King. How about that? So that'd be pretty cool.
I take a mountain. Take the mountain.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. I mean, everyone would just go crazy for Jon Snow. A little voice crack there. But yeah, so obviously the big IPs as well, but we'll save
Mando. Give me Mando.
Yeah, we need Mando. Absolutely. It'll come.
All right, guys. Well, appreciate tuning in here. I don't know if you watched the previous video, but we did a getting started with VeVe low cost entry point. This one we just recapped is the most undervalued collectibles that we believe are around for mid-tier collectors. We focused on the Disney's Golden Moments and a few other superhero collectibles. But we'll see moving forward. Maybe we'll do another video in a few weeks and see what's changed, see how the market's going.
Yeah, it's a good point. We have kind of all these collectibles on the record, ones that we talked about. So maybe we revisit these collectibles specifically in 3 weeks' time, whatever, see kind of where they went. So I wrote down the price for most of them. So we'll have I'll write down the date. February 7th is the day, at least we're recording this. Who knows when you'll be watching. But this is as of February 7th, 2022. So
again, thank you for tuning in. Again, if you want to follow our journey, follow our collectible rise, follow our OMI journey, follow everything, check out our previous videos. We've talked about OMI. We've talked about new collectors in the market, brought on a friend to talk about his first experiences. And
geez, I felt like a while ago. I haven't had Jack. That was crazy. That was one of our first 5 episodes.
Yeah, we're gonna have him on again. Just had a chat with him. It's gonna come on, probably be one of our next videos. And we'll recap, see what he's learned in the past month.
That's the thing. Kind of see what he thinks now. See where his opinions kind of differ, or whether they're the same on certain collectibles in the marketplace. So that'd be cool.
Yep.
So all right, perfect. All right, wrap it up.
Like, subscribe, let it ride.
Yes, sir. Here we go. All right, who are you, Deco?
I'm Brandon.
Who are you, Deco? And I'm Cam. All right, thanks for watching. We'll see you next episode, whenever that is.
All right, adios.
Peace.